Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Day 4, the final day of the Region 14 softball tournament here at Angelina College. This morning's game, the first one, has the Blinn College Lady Buccaneers taking on the Lady Apaches from TJC. This meet and greet, the Lady Apaches wearing number 1, Tommy Goodman. Number 8, Mackenzie Pete. Number 9, Nadia Jimenez. Tucker Caraway is 11. 18, Amber Layer. Number 22, Julian Knight. And starting off in the lineup, playing left field, wearing number 3, Brianna Paysinger. The designated player, number 15, Rebecca Snow. The center fielder is 21, Haley Weber. At first base, 19, Mackenzie Gosler. Behind the plate, Shelby Court, number 12. Third base, Casey Moore, she's 17. Number 8 is Mackenzie Pete on second base. The shortstop is Mackenzie Chatham, she's number 2. 13, Shelby Hotchkiss, she's in right field. And in the circle this morning, number 24, is Kelly Mardoni. Coaching staff for the Lady Apaches, Maria Wynn-Rackler is the head coach, and Shelby McGraw, the assistant coach. Now the lineup for the Lady Buccaneers, wearing number 1, Abby Olanishak. Number 2, Callie Burke. Number 3, Olivia Villarreal. Number 9, Sam Junkin. Number 10, Michaela Norman. 13 is Shay Watson. 22, Chelsea Armin Davers. And number 23 is Alyssa Vega. And leading off, playing left field, wearing number 21, Nicole Garcia. Center fielder is Connie Edwards, she wears 5. At first base, number 6, Shelby Achille, she wears number 6. At third base, number 7, number 15, Amy Alexander, she's the catcher. Shortstop is Gabby Gomez, number 16, and the DP, number 17, Katie Sawyer. The second baseman, number 8, Alyssa Hitt. In right field, Morgan Gray, number 18. And now then the circle for the Lady Buccaneers. Will be number 11, Colleen Benke, the coaching staff. Head coach is Rick Church. And Jamie Ingram is the assistant coach. Would you please join me? Stand up and remove your hats for our national anthem.
Welcome back to Lufkin, Texas, on the campus of Angelina College, here for Day 4 of the Region 14 tournament. Only 3 teams remain. San Jacinto won in the winner's bracket semifinals yesterday, defeated Blinn 1-0. So they automatically qualify for St. George, Utah in the NJCA National Tournament. They'll play the winner out of this one The final two teams, the other two teams remaining, Blinn and Tyler. Winner advances to play in the Region 14 championship game at 12:30 and qualifies for the national tournament. So a lot on the line here in Lufkin. The order for Tyler, same thing as most of the tournament. Paysinger, Snow, Weber, Goswick, Court, Moore, Pete, Chatham, and Hotchkiss. In the circle for Blinn is Colleen Benke, a 1.33 ERA, 19-4 record overall, 26 appearances, 23 complete games, 9 shutouts, 157 and a third innings pitched. And strike one, and first pitch is underway here in Lufkin.
First pitch is called strike one.
Benke has given up 125 hits, 54 runs, 30 of those earned, 34 walks, and 133 strikeouts on the year. Opponent's batting at .208, and that one's deep into right center. It's going to fall, hit off the wall, and Paysinger's going to start this one with a leadoff double. So 2B8 to set the defense for Blinn. Benke in the circle. Alexander behind the plate. Over at third is Noah. Shortstop is Gomez. Second is Hit. First is Achille. As ball one low to Rebecca Snow at the plate. Across the outfield and left is Garcia. Center is Edwards. And right field is Gray. Snow, the designated player for Tyler, batting in the 2-hole. Snow, a .483 average with 116 at bats, 56 hits, 17 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs, and 59 RBIs. So 2-0 pitch, strike one on the inside. Here in the top half of the first, TJC and Blinn battling to survive to play that 12:30 championship game against San Jacinto College and for a ticket to nationals. 2-2 count, no outs. Paysinger's on second. Snow at the plate. Almost chased it, but no go, so brings the count to full. That one's fouled off the foot. Full count. And that's a liner to short. Error on the throw back. So Snow will get out by way of L6. Paysinger will get to third by way of E6. Strike one to Haley Weber. Having a couple connectivity issues. Hopefully it's coming through now. Fans, if you can let me know if it's starting to load yet. I'm not sure. It shows connected on our end, but one count for Haley Weber at the plate. And that's strike two on the inside. And that's going to be a F9 sacrifice RBI for Weber, as Paysinger will score.
This is number 19, first baseman Mackenzie Gonswick.
As that one's going to get through for Goswick. I'm still trying to check on a couple streaming issues. As Goswick gets on by way of 1B7.
Here's the catcher, Shelby Court.
Fans apologize for trying to get through a couple connectivity issues. As that's going to foul off Shelby Court's foot.
Two balls, two strikes, two away. And we have a runner at first base. Shelby Court at the plate. First base. Runner going to be safe at first base. But out at second base. Two away, runner at first. And this brings up the right fielder. Number 13, Shelby Hotchkiss. To right field, Morgan Gray catches back on the net, retires to side, and we're headed to the bottom of the second. No change in our score. Leading off in the bottom of the second inning will be the catcher, Amy Alexander. And following her will be Gabby Gomez, and the DP, Katie Sawyer. Back to the circle, Montgomery is over to Mackenzie Godswick, 1 away. We're back to the top of the order for the Lady Apaches. This is Brianna Pinksinger. Pinksinger with a grounder out to center field. Callie Edwards throws it back in. Pinksinger will look up at first base with a single. DP, Rebecca Snow. Becca Snow going down to first base. Nobody out, 2 runners on base. And here's Haley Weber. Haley Weber. the wall. Edward finishes it down, fires it back in, but another run comes in to score. We have runners at second and third with nobody out. Coming up now for the Lady of Yankees, number 19. This is Mackenzie Conklin. Strike three, and we have one away. Brings up the catcher, Shelby Ford. Two balls, one strike on court.
Okay, fans, I think we're at least somewhat connected right now as Court dribbles one up the middle, going to get past the shortstop, Gomez. And now there's a rundown for Haley Weber, and she's going to get tagged out at third. So we are in the, to try to help set things up. Let me update the scorecard here. So 1B, 8 for Court. She'll move over to second on the rundown as Rebecca Snow will score, and Haley Weber gets caught in a rundown by way of 5-2. So 2 outs. We're in the top half of the third. We'll reset everything in between, but that brings up Moore, and it's going to be ground out by way of 6-3, short to first. So hopefully we stay connected. Had some connectivity issues with the AT&T hotspot, and finally tracked down the right connection on the tournament Wi-Fi. So hopefully this stays connected. I keep seeing the bit rate drop a little bit low, so it may have to be a little bit voice. I'll try to explain more as we go. Just as a heads up on your end, if you click the little gear, not on the full screen, but on the, it may potentially be on the full screen on the bottom right of the video, and hit the gear where it says quality, you may have to go ahead, instead of choosing auto, choose either 240 or 144, one of the lower qualities, so it's trying, that way it won't, that'll stop some of the buffering there. So you may have to try to do that to stay connected. If it starts buffering, lower that quality that you're trying to pull in, and hopefully that'll stay connected. But TJC, after 2.5, leads 3-0 over here in this elimination bracket game in the Region 14 tournament. Scoring runs for Tyler is Paysinger in the first, Paysinger in the third, Rebecca Snow in the third. As in this bottom half for Blinn is 8-9-1. Hit Gray and Garcia, as that one's fouled back in front of the net. We'll go through and I'll reset the lineups in between this one, or as we go, as strike 2 across for Mardones. Mardones on the year has a record of 31-3. As ball 1 low. At the plate is Alyssa hit, 342 average on the year, 1-2 count. And set that one up and away for ball 2. This 10 a.m. matchup. Winner and close on the inside corner. Full count now, no outs. Here in the bottom half of the third, TJC leading 3-0. But the winner of this one qualifies for the national tournament and advances to play at 12:30. As that's a foul off the plate. But advances to play San Jacinto at 12:30 in the championship game, of which the winner out of this one would need to beat them twice to be the tournament champion. But win this one, you qualify to go to St. George, Utah, and that's a foul tip underneath the legs of Shelby Court behind the plate. For Tyler in the field, Mardones in the circle, Court behind the plate, Moore at third, Chatham at second, or Chatham at short, Pete at second, Gosswick at first, Paysinger at third, or in left. As that one's hit to center and out to Haley Weber and catches it on the run. And then at right is Hotchkiss. So hit goes down by way of F8. Appreciate everyone being patient with us through this, as we've had a lot of those connection issues. As a backup, if you also want to catch back up on some of the stats on how things happen, go back to ApacheAthletics.com, and on the right-hand side is a live stat link, and a couple, it's pretty good labeled. On just clicking for softball may come up in another pop-up window or two, and then you can go back and look at that, or follow also with live stats just in case we break away again. That's strike 1 on the outside, so 1-1 count now for the 9-hole Gray. Gray, a .414 average on the year. And goes to bunt right back to Mardones, and over to first for the out. Covering the bag is Mackenzie Pete. So Gray is out by way of 1-4 over at first. So back to the top half, or top of the order. Garcia flew out to second back in the bottom half of the first inning. Ball 1 low and away. Strike 1 on the inside. So 2 outs here, no one on for Blinn. At the plate is the 1-hole Garcia. And that's a bunt right back to Moreno, or Mardones, and play over at first. Can't quite make it. That's going to be a hit. So Mardones can't quite get the ball over for the bang-bang play, but beats out the throw. So Garcia on by way of a 1-B1. Brings up 2-hole Edwards. Edwards dribbles that one over to Pete, to Gosswick. So grounder to second, out by way of 4-3. So at the bottom of the third, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. I'll go through, for those of you like the scorecard entry. In the top half of the first, Paysinger got on by, or led off with a double. Snow lined out to short. Weber had a sacrifice fly to right field that scored Paysinger, so he had an RBI sacrifice. Goswick singled to left, and then Shelby Court struck out looking. Staying on the TJC side, top half of the second, Moore flew out to left. Mackenzie Pete had a single to center. Chatham grounded over to short and got Pete out by way of 6-4, and then so Chatham got on first by way of fielder's choice, and then Hotchkiss flew out to right field. And of course here we're in the top half of the third. Paysinger led off with a single to center. Snow walked to first. Then Weber scored Paysinger on a double. Goswick struck out. And then also on that double, she got thrown out by way of 5-2 in a rundown. But that also, trying to remember where the other RBI was. So that, but here in the top half of the fourth, we have 7, 8, 9. Pete, Chatham, and Hotchkiss as strike one.
First pitch to Pete is strike 1.
So 1-2 count. For Mackenzie Pete. Looks at ball 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's a high pop up to right field, so Pete will be down by way of F9.
And there's 1 away.
So brings up Chatham.
Chatham.
Got on by way of fielder's choice back in the second. TJC leading 3-0 here in the top half of the fourth. And 1-0 count. Dribbled a grounder over to short. So Chatham will be out by way of 6-3. Brings up Shelby Hotchkiss. 0 for 1 after flying out to right field back in the second. So 2 outs. No one on for Hotchkiss at the plate. Strike 1. And fans, if you can let me know either through the text number in the description or through the YouTube app, the chatting portion of the messaging portion of the YouTube video, if you can let me know if the video's still coming through, if the sound is matching up, what inning you're in to see how far it may have pushed a delay. As that one's up and away, so 1-2 count for Hotchkiss. Wind once again not as heavy as yesterday, but still blowing in from dead center. 1-2 pitch, low and away. Two count, 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth. And that's a changeup, going to be hit out for a base hit, just a single for Hotchkiss, a 1B8. So Hotchkiss gets on first. And for those that may be, just in case, by the time you hear this, if just to see where we're at, make sure it connects back up right, you may have to refresh your browser. And then it may catch up to real time, or at least closer to real time. I know there's a little bit of delay there with all the connectivity issues. YouTube may have slowed down some of that delay. So you may have to refresh and then make sure you click on live down on the bottom left instead of scrolling to a certain minute of the video, click on live or drag it all the way to the right to see. Make sure it's at least to the updated connection point that YouTube has. So brings up your leadoff hitter, Brianna Paysinger, 2 for 2 with a double, 2 runs scored, and a single. Looks at ball 1. And that's a fly ball out to left. Wynn's pushing it. It's going to be a fair ball. It's going to bounce just a touch fair, as the left fielder couldn't quite glove it with that wind blowing it back this way. So Paysinger with a 2B7 gets a RBI with Hotchkiss coming around and scoring. So TJC now up 4-0 here in the top half of the fourth. 2 outs. Paysinger on second. Snow at the plate. Snow's 0 for 1. Lined out to short and then walked in the third, but also scored in the third. So 1-0 count, 2 outs. Paysinger on second. Snow looks at strike 1 towards the outside. As that one's popped up close to, is going to be just out of play. Two count now. 2 outs. Paysinger on second. And I probably wouldn't have taken that one, but good patience at the plate. Full count, 2 outs. And that's slapped over to short. Gonna snag it, but not gonna be able to make the throw though. So that's gonna be an infield hit. Paysinger will be on third. Snow will be at 1B6. So that brings up Haley Weber. Weber 1 for 1 with a RBI sac fly back in the first and a RBI double in the third. So top half of the fourth. TJC has 1 run here in the top half to extend the lead 4-0. Runners on the corners. Paysinger on third. Snow on first. At the plate is Haley Weber. 1-0 pitch underway. And it's going to called strike on the inside. The 1-1 pitch is high and inside. As that's a fly going to be out of play behind the Apache dugout. Two count, 2 outs, 2 on for Tyler. Ball high. That's a high fly ball at the left. Dribble, kind of moved around a little bit, but wind blows it back in. Weber will get a D 4-0 off of 1 run scored, 2 hits, 3 hits. Sorry about that. 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base in the top half of the 4th. Headed down to the bottom half of the 4th. 3, 4, 5 coming up for Blinn. Achille, Noah, and Alexander. We'll be back in a minute.
Leading off for the Lady Buccaneers will be the first baseman, Shelby Achille, followed by Noah and Alexander.
Back here in the bottom half of the 4th, TJC leading 4-0 over Blinn. And first pitch, swinging foul, dribbled right into the Apache dugout. Winner of this one qualifies for the national tournament and advances to play at 12:30 versus San Jacinto for the region tournament championship. And that's fouled down the left field line. Achille, back in the first inning, had a single to left. Oh-2 count, pitch underway, and change up, got her to wait a little bit, gonna fall fair, just inside the line on the right field side. So Achille, 1B9. Just a little looper that Mackenzie Pete couldn't get to and Hotchkiss couldn't get to. So no outs. Chile on first. Noah at the plate. Flew out to left in the first inning. And that's fouled back out of play. Ball 1. As that's up the middle, can't get it to his Chatham, so rolls into center. So now Blinn trying to make something happen here in the bottom half of the 4th. Chile moves over to second. Noah on by way of a 1B8. So back-to-back singles Gets 2 on for Blinn, brings up Alexander, the catcher. Grounded back to Mardones back in the 2nd inning. Team does a quick huddle in the center. Again, I think it's pushed about a 5-minute delay from live to what you're seeing on the video, from what I can tell, with the connection issues on our end. Hopefully things will either catch back up or reset for you. And gets swinging on that one for strike 2. At the plate, Alexander, 0-2 count, no outs. Runners on 1st and 2nd for Blinn. Again, you may have to, hold on a second. We got the ball 1 low, but you may have to, in the bottom right of the video, hit the gear and select, instead of doing the audio or the 720p, you may have to bump it down to the 240, 360, or even a little bit lower there. Ball 2 low, just to make sure it stays connected, because bit rate on my end still shows it's fluxing from very low to perfect, so it kind of is a hit and miss right now. But 2-2 pitch, ripped foul off the top of the Apache dugout down the 3rd base side. We'd love to hear from where you're listening from, who you're listening for. Can either do the chat within the YouTube system on the side of the video, or text us at the number, and that's going to be a line drive. Hodge is going to be able to get to it and glove it, backhand glove it in the air. So Alexander goes down by way of L8. Line drive out to center. Brings up shortstop Gomez. Struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. But that number, first pitch swinging, foul, just past 3rd base. Also in the description portion of the broadcast. And floater on the outside, called strike 2. So 1 out, 0-2 count for Gomez at the plate. Blinn has runners on 1st and 2nd. TJC leading 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th. Ball 1 low and inside.
Battle, Gabby, battle.
1-2 count. Comes a pitch from Mardones. And that's popped up right behind first. Pete is able to run over and get it. So Gomez is going to be out by way of F4. So 2 outs, 2 on for Blinn. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Brings up Sawyer, the designated player, grounded out to second to end the 2nd inning. And first pitch fouled back behind us. Oh, 1 pitch, 2 outs, 2 on. And that's dribbled right back to Mardones. Picks it up, easy throw to first. So Sawyer goes down by way of 1-3. So after 4 complete, TJC leading 4-0 in this elimination. In this elimination game, winner gets to advance to the 12:30 region championship game today. But then also automatically qualifies for the national tournament, as Region 14 gets 2 automatic qualifiers. San Jacinto, by beating Blinn yesterday 1-0 in the winners bracket semifinals qualified. So the winner out of this one would have to beat Sanjak twice today in order to be the tournament champions. But goal right now with one game at a time is TJC trying to get back to St. George for back-to-back trips. TJC only year 3 in the softball program. Last year during their second season last year, they had a great run. Came through this same half of the bracket and qualified for the national tournament last year, but a magical 60-6 season last year. Right now, TJC 49-16, trying to get win 50 to qualify for the national tournament.
Designated player Rebecca Snow, followed by Weber and Goswick.
For back-to-back trips to St. George, Utah. So for Tyler in the top half of the 5th, 4, 5, 6, Goswick, Court, and Moore. Goswick 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Still in the circle for Blinn is Colleen Benke. Casey Moore has some family watching in from Round Rock. You might be listening, depending on how the video's doing. But appreciate you connecting with us today. Got a note from my grandfather back in Tyler. He's listening, so thank you. So 1-1 count as there's a few sprinkles starting to come in. Feel a little bit of moisture. There is a little bit more chance of a rain today. 1-2 count for Goswick at the plate. There's a few little bitty green patches as that's foul backing out of play to the left of us. Some little bitty, when I say little, maybe just about the size of Lufkin. Two little bitty patches of clouds. You can kind of see them in the background. As that one's popped up in the infield, a high fly ball to short, and able to stay on top of it is Gomez. So Goswick will be out by way of F6.
Gabby Gomez brings it in. One away.
I'd like to thank the training staff back home. Travis Gray and Eddie McGuire. They've helped me trying to keep up with determining the delay factor and some of the connectivity. So thanks for those guys back on campus. That's ball 2 outside for Shelby Court. We feel a few little sprinkles, but if you look up just out of the camera lens, you get blue sky as that one's grounded hot over to third. Able to make the play is Noah. So Court will be down by way of 5-3.
Third baseman, Casey Moore.
So that brings up Casey Moore, 2 outs as she fans at strike 1. So 2 outs for Tyler here in the top half of the 5th. TJC leading 4-0 over Blinn in this crucial elimination and survival game. Fouled back out of play. No on for Tyler, so 0-2 count now for Moore. Moore 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a ground out to short. And that's gets just past the glove of second baseman Hit. Gray was right there. Tried to make the play at first, but no go. So Moore will be on with a 1B9.
And this brings up the second baseman.
Brings up Mackenzie Pete. Pete, she's 0 for 2 for today. Single back in the second, and a fly out to right last inning. Looks at ball, one high. And strike one up and away. I'd like to thank Haley Weber's mom watching in from Boulder, Colorado. Thanks for sticking with us and through all the issues and going up. And that's a rope out to left field. That's going to move more over to second. Pete will get on with the 1B7. So now 2 outs, 2 on for Tyler here in the top half of the 5th. Brings up Mackenzie Chatham. 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice in the second and grounded out to short in the 4th. First pitch swinging, gets it right back to Benke, and Benke lobs it over to, or Benke lobs it over to a Chile. So Chatham will be out by way of 1-3. So over the top half of the 5th, TJC gets no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So after 4.5 innings of work, TJC leads 4-0 over Blinn in this crucial elimination game. TJC hopefully gets through this one, holds on. Still would like a couple more runs for insurance because teams at this point here, it's crunch time. And tournament time, especially elimination games, are a whole different ball game than the regular season. So if TJC holds on to this one, they'll play at 12:30. And if they win that one, have to turn right around and play at 3 or 3:30. So potentially up to 3 games today. But the key one here is the one right in front of us. Got to win to stay in. For Blinn, it's 8-9-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th. Hit 0 for 1 with a fly out to center back in 3rd. And that's a deep fly ball to left, going to hang up in the wind, and Paysinger's able to grab that one. As that wind, you can tell with the flags. Hopefully you can tell with the flags, depends on how downgraded the video gets with the bit rate on our end, but flags are pushing in from dead center. They kind of changed from dead center to home to center to 3rd, so the wind's shifting more that way. So ball's going to tail, lift one up, it's going to tail more towards left field. So Gray 0 for 1, grounded back to Mardones, and same thing again. Mardones to Goswick, 1-3. So 2 outs. Headed back to the top of the lineup is Garcia. 1 for 2, flew out to second, and then had a single back to Mardones, a little swinging bunt. And that's in the gap, and that's over the fence, in between the fence and the scoreboard. So Garcia with a 1-run shot. And you knew that had a chance. So Blinn on the scoreboard with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th. TJC still leading 4-1. So that brings up Edwards, 0 for 2 on the day. Line out to 3rd and grounded out to 2nd. First one's a ball. 1-0 pitch now coming, and tried to slap bunt that one. Gonna roll foul down the third base line. Battle. 1-1 count now. 2 outs for Blinn in the bottom half of the 5th. And that's a grounder over to Chatham. Chatham gets it over to Goswick. Ends the inning with a 6-3. So Blinn gets on the scoreboard with a home run, single solo shot by Garcia. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base for Blinn in the bottom half of the 5th. And we have down to 2 innings of play. With TJC leading 4-1 here in this elimination game at the Region 14 tournament. TJC coming up to bat, 9-1-2 in the top half of the 6th. Hotchkiss, Paysinger, Snow. TJC leading 4-1. We'll be back in a minute.
Leading off is Hotchkiss, number 13. Then back to the top of the order with Paysinger and Snow.
Up to the plate here in the top half of the 6th is Shelby Hotchkiss, 1 for 2 with a single to center and a run scored. As that one's ripped foul down the third base line. TJC trying to, or wants to extend this lead. TJC with a 4-1 lead in the top half. Strike 2 called on the outside. Minke still in the circle for Blinn. That one's fouled back out of play, hits the net and bounces back in. A 1-2 pitch coming to Hotchkiss, fouled back off the net again. Staying alive is Hotchkiss at the plate. Say thanks for Casey Moore's family, all around the Tomball and Round Rock area. And Shelby Court, her mom listening in from Rockwall, or watching in from Rockwall. Bunch of family listening for Mackenzie Pete out of Keller. As ball 3 up and away. So full count now, 2 outs, or no outs here in the top half of the 6th. Also like to thank Reverend Richard Luna back in Tyler for checking in. So Hotchkiss getting a good quality at bat underway. Was down 0-2, fouled a couple back, drew 3 balls, so full count. No outs here in the top half of the 6th. Looks at ball 4 high. So Hotchkiss patient at the plate and worked the count. So back to Paysinger, 3 for 3 on the day, 2 doubles, a single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. TJC leading 4-1. Top half the sixth. Hotchkiss, leadoff batter, walk to first. Back to the top of the order now. Paysinger looked at ball one outside. And strike one on the outside. One pitch. And that dragged it too far down the first base line. Will be foul, so we'll come back to the plate for a 1-2 count. One-two pitch, and that's going to be a gapper into right field. So Paysinger now goes 4 for 4.
Runners at first and second with nobody out.
Hotchkiss will advance to second, so 2 on, no one out, and Rebecca Snow up to the plate. 1 for 2 with a walk-a run scored in the third and a single in the fourth. Back in the first, she lined out short. As looks at ball one up and away. 2 on, no outs for Tyler. Runners at first and second. Snow at the plate with the 1-0 count. Strike one called on the outside. One pitch, and it's high right field, going to blow back in. Able to get to it is right fielder Gray. Gets it in, but Hotchkiss will tag and get to third. So now runners on the corner. 1 out. Brings up Haley Weber. 1 for 2 with an RBI sac fly in the first, RBI double in the third, and then flew out to center in the fourth. And Paysinger's gonna stolen base as fake to bunt to draw the infield in, and Paysinger took off. So runners at second and third for Tyler. Strike one across, so it brings the count to 1-1 with 1 out for Weber. TJC up 4-1, top half of the sixth. And ball low and on the inside, so 2-1. Wind picking up, heading from center to third base. There's the flag, points, and rotates kind of between third base and home. Looks at ball 3, so 3-1 count for Weber at the plate. 1 out, 2 on for Tyler. And that's going to be a fly ball to center, but it's going to tail off. Hotchkiss will tag and score. So Weber will get another RBI sac fly, that time to center. Hotchkiss will score on it. Paysinger will stay on second, so TJC back to a 4-run lead. Score 5-1 here in the top of the sixth. Brings up Goswick. 1 for 3 with a single to left, a strikeout and a fly out to short. And that one comes high and in for ball 1. And that's a rip down the left field line, but foul, and out of play. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back, a little off speed. One-two pitch, and that's going to go off the glove. Paysinger's going to come all the way around. That came off the glove of Gomez, as that was a shot. She barely had time to stick her glove up. But Goswick will get an RBI. Paysinger will score from second. And official score looks like they're giving that a hit, so a 1B7, as that was just a shot, just deflected off the glove. As they're now going to do a pitching change as Benke comes off. In the circle now is number 9, Sam Junkin. As right now Benke has gone 5 2/3. So Shelby Court will be the first batter up for Junkin. Junkin a 3.66 ERA, 7.8 record, 20 appearances, 16 starts, 7 complete games, 2 shutouts, 80 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 78 hits, 51 runs, 42 of those earned, 29 walks, and 41 strikeouts. TJC leading in this top half of the 6th is 2 runs on so far with 2 outs. Score now 6-1 Tyler. In this crucial elimination game, winner of this one again qualifies for St. George, Utah in the NJCA National Tournament. And then we'll face Sanjak in the championship game at 12:30 today. So we'll flip around and get a bite to eat real quick, recharge, and play another one. As ball 1 low. Moore 1 for 3. A fly out to left, a ground out to short, and then a single to right. Ball up and away for ball 2. Mackenzie Goswick is on first. Had an RBI single right before the pitching change. So Shelby Court, 0-2 count, or 2-0 count. Strike 1. 2 outs for Tyler here in the top half of the 6th. Two-one pitch from Junkin. And that's a fly ball, just a high fly ball out to center. Able to snag that one is Edwards. So F8 to end the inning. But TJC gets 2 runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So after 5 1/2, TJC extends the lead with 2 runs in the top half of the 6th to lead 6-1 over Blinn College. Up for Blinn in the bottom half of the 6th, 3-4-5, Achille, Noah, and Alexander. We'll be back in a minute. TJC leads 6-1.
Leading off at the bottom of the sixth for the Lady Buccaneers will be the first baseman, Shelby Kelly, and she'll be followed by Emily Noah and the catcher, Amy Alexander.
Leading off the bottom half of the sixth for Blinn, 3-4-5. Chile, Noah, and Alexander. Chile 2 for 2 with a single to left and a single to right, and that one's popped up in the hole. Going to fall in between Chatham and Weber. So that'll be 1B7. A little looper to get things going for Blinn here in the bottom half of the sixth. TJC leading 6-1. No outs, 1 on for Blinn. Noah at the plate, 1 for 2. As that one's fouled down the third base line. Back in the first, flew out to left. And in the fourth, had a single to center. Mardones still in the circle for Tyler. As the ball 1, so 1-1 count now for Noah. And that's ripped way left. And I see the comment about the background music between the breaks, and the hard part is YouTube likes to flag stuff for copyright. So that's ball 3 or ball 2 low in the dirt. So it'll be a 2-2 count for Noah at the plate. But yeah, YouTube likes to block for even just PA music playing for walk-up. So have to try to limit it some. But 2-2 pitch hit out to center, going to fall in. One hop right in front of Weber. So Chile will advance to second. Noah will get a 1B8. So 2 on. 2 on, no outs for Blinn here in the top half of the bottom half of the sixth. Runners on first and second, brings to the plate Alexander. 0 for 2, grounded to Mardones. And then lined out to Weber in center. Strike 1 across. That's grounded over to Chatham. Chatham going to get over to third to get the lead force. So Chile will be out by way of 6-5. Noah will advance to second. Alexander will get on first by way of fielder's choice. So 1 down. Runner still on first and second for Blinn. Brings up Gomez. 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a ground out to Pete at second. Or a pop out to Pete at second, not a ground out. So 0-1 pitch underway for Mardones. And that's ripped foul down the left field line.
Outside pitch get deep.
0-2 count now for Gomez. And the floater's going to just go foul down the third base line. And Luber able to grab it as that's a little hot grounder over to Casey Moore at third. So she gets the 5U tag out
Sawyer.
of Noah trying to advance. Alexander will get over to second, and Gomez will be on by way as fielder's choice, as she was already on first with the throw. So 2 outs now, 2 on for Blinn. First pitch knocked foul by Sawyer. 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out to Pete at second, and then back to Mardones in the circle in the fourth. 0-1 count now for Sawyer. 2 outs, 2 on for Blinn. Here in the bottom half of the sixth. Looks at strike 2. TJC leading 6-1. In this elimination game at the Region 14 tournament. That's ball 1 low. One-two pitch, floater up and away, no go. So the deuces are wild for Blinn. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the bottom half of the sixth for Sawyer at the plate. And that's grounded over to Chatham. Gonna get it over to Moore at third. So Sawyer grounds over to short. They get Alexander at third on the fourth, so TJC in early trouble gets out of that one. Everything over at third. 2 force out throws, and just updating the scorecard real quick. Drew a blank, so we're heading to the top of the seventh. TJC leading 6-1. And 1 inning away for Tyler. They either add more or at least hold on. Blinn hoping for a 3 up, 3 down, and at least stack on 5 in the bottom half of the frame to either extend this or 6 to try to win it right now for a chance to qualify for the national tournament and then advance over to play San Jacinto at 12:30 today. So after 6 complete, TJC leads 6-1. Up for TJC in the top 7th. It's 6, 7, 8. Moore, Pete, and Chatham. Moore, 1 for 3. Flew out to left in the second, ground out to short in the third, and then had a single to center in the 5th.
Casey Moore leading off at the top of the 7th.
So top half of the 7th underway. Looks at ball 1 on the inside. Still in the circle for Blinn is Junkin. As ball 2 comes across. Two-0 count now for Casey Moore. Two 2-1 pitch now. As that one's hit down the right field line. Can't quite stride over to get it. Was Gray, so going to be foul.
Foul ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Go, Casey! Back now.
As the wind picks back up and starts blowing the dust right back in our face now. Starting to dry out the dirt out there. But 2-2 count for Moore at the plate. And that's fouled back on the net just to the right of us. TJC, Blinn, and San Jacinto are the final 3 teams in the tournament. Winner of this one gets to go face San Jacinto for the region tournament championship round. That one's fouled right back and off the net again. Important one on this one is the winner qualifies for the national tournament. TJC looking to make it back-to-back years to go to St. George, Utah. 2-2 pitch underway. That's fouled back off the net again. That time of year where there is no easy day, easy game, so TJC grinding it out. And this one lost day 1, 4-2 to Galveston. Then have to battle through this elimination bracket as that one goes off the Blinn dugout. So another foul. TJC looking for win number 50. Mardones looking for win number 32 on the year from the circle for Tyler. 2-2 pitch underway. And that's just a little lazy pop up over to short. So Moore will be out by way of F6. Brings up Mackenzie Pete. 2 for 3. Single to center, a fly out to right, and a single to left.
And this is Mackenzie Pete.
So 1 down here for Tyler in the top half of the 7th, leading 6-1. Ball 1 low and in the dirt. One 0 count. 1 out for Tyler. Looks at strike 1 across. One count, 1 out. Mackenzie Pete at the plate. And that's popped up in the infield. Noah, third baseman, will snag that one. So F5 brings up Mackenzie Chatham. 0 for 3 on the day with a fielder's choice, a ground out to short and a ground out back to the circle. Looks at ball 1 low. In the final inning here in this matchup versus Blinn, TJC batting in the top half, up 6-1. As that one's popped up trying to get to it, and on her feet is a Chile. So that one will be caught. F3, so 3 up, 3 down for Tyler in the top half of the 7th. So we'll go down to the bottom half of the 7th. TJC up 6-1. Blinn looking to score at least 5 to extend this one out. TJC looking to get 3 outs, hold on, go back to St. George, and then as well as advance to play San Jacinto at 12:30 today. As Mardones comes back out for the bottom half of the 7th. She's looking to secure win number 32.
And the Lady Bucks will start out with a second baseman. That's number 8, Alyssa Hitt, followed by Morgan.
And noticed on the other side a couple innings ago, Julia Knight is ready, or has been throwing, warming up just in case. This could be a long day for TJC. Gets the 3 outs, holds on to the 6-1 victory here. Then would play Sanjak at 12:30 for the region tournament championship. And if TJC wins that one, they turn right back around again and play at 3 or 3:30 for the if game. So potentially a long day of softball for Tyler, but key one right here. Up to the plate, 8-9-1, hit Gray Garcia. As Hit looks at ball one from Mardones. 1-0 pitch. Grounded right back to Mardones and over to Goswick. Down by way of 1-3. So 2 more outs to secure it for Tyler.
Right fielder, Morgan Gray.
Brings up 9-hole hitter Morgan Gray. Grounded back to Mardones in the 3rd and 5th innings. Looks at strike one across. Oh, 1 pitch. Ball on the outside. Court tried to hold it there for him, but no go on that one. Just out of the zone. 1-1 count, 1 out for Gray. And that slapped right back up the middle. Chatham can't get to it. So that'll be a 1B8 for Gray. So Blinn with 1 out, 1 on first, brings up the top of the lineup, Garcia. Garcia 2 for 3 with a home run back in the 5th. That's a ball on the inside. Gray on first, 1 out for Blinn. Garcia at the plate, ball 2.
Kelly, you got this.
2-0 pitch underway. Strike 1, right down the pipe. Two-one pitch, 1 out, 1 on for Blinn. And not sure where that one missed because it crossed the zone, but 3-1. 3-1 count. Gray sits on first. Garcia at the plate for Blinn. Bottom half of the 7th, TJC leading 6-1. And that's going to be ball 4 on the outside. So Gray will advance to second. Garcia walks to first, brings up Edwards. 0 for 3 with a line out to third, a grounder to second, and a grounder to short. As Coach Wynn calls a little infield huddle. Just trying to lock it in and get the team all on one page there. A little bit of last inning motivation, hopefully. But TJC leading 6-1 with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th. TJC needs 2 outs to close this one out and qualify for the national tournament and a chance to face San Jacinto in the championship round here in Lufkin. Ball 1 for the 2-hole hitter Edwards. So 1-0 pitch, 2 on, 1 out, and that's hit over to Pete, and she's just gonna zip it over to first, get the out number 2. So Gray will get on to third. Garcia was already too far to second to try to get that one to roll it. So Edwards is out by way of 4-3. That's 2 outs, brings up first baseman of Chile. Chile is 3 for 3 with all singles. Looks at ball 1 inside in the dirt. Blinn has runners on second and third. Chile's at the plate with a 1-0 count, 2 outs. TJC leading 6-1 here in the bottom half of the 7th. Looks at strike 1 through the zone. One pitch now from Mardones. That's strike 2. Tyler up 6-1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that's grounded over to Chatham. Chatham to over to Goswick. And TJC is headed back to St. George, Utah. Chile grounds over to Chatham out by way of 6-3. So TJC wins this one by a score of 6-1. They qualify for St. George, Utah in the NJCA softball Division I softball national tournament. That will be next week up in St. George, Utah. And now we reset, and in about 45 minutes we will have a Region 14 tournament championship game with Tyler versus San Jacinto. Just a repeat matchup from 2016. So Tyler needs to win 2 more to be the region tournament champion. But they've done the job, worked through the elimination bracket, and will be in St. George, Utah next week. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. We got trying to fill up at least about 5 minutes worth of time. I'll just let this roll for a couple more minutes. That way, for some reason, I don't want to cut anything off with about a 5-6 minute delay on some folks. So I'm going to leave this here, but TJC wins 6-1 over Blinn, advances to the NJCA National Tournament, and will take on San Jacinto at 12:30. I'll leave this on for a few more minutes and then turn it off, and then come back to the YouTube channel here about 12:20 Central Time, and I'll have that next game linked and going, and hopefully that one won't start with all the connection issues that this one did. Thank everybody for sticking through all that, but we'll see you here about 12:20. TJC defeats Blinn 6-1, advances to the national tournament, and will take on San Jac for the Region 14 tournament championship.